Hello everyone and welcome to our Hatha Yoga form and fluidity class. Today in this class we will be exploring how to balance the front of the body, meaning the hip flexors, and the back of the body, the hamstrings, the glutes and the erector spinae muscles. Let's begin our class by entering Balasana position. Let's take the skin of the buttocks back, the skin of the knees forward, press the hands into the floor to lengthen the spine, and walk the hands forward into our child pose. I'm walking my hands forward to lengthen the sides of the body. I take a couple of deep breaths into the side ribs. I'm allowing the buttocks to be heavy onto the heels. Press into the feet and come into your Marjariyasana position. Tuck the toes under, press the hands forward and stretch the legs. Allow the back of the head to go down. Spread the fingers of the hands. Press the palms into the floor as if you wanted to leave your palms print into the mat, and take the buttocks away from the body. Keep lengthening the side ribs. Lift the heels up, bend and extend the knees. Keep doing this movement by keeping the armpits open towards the legs, so the chest remains into an extension. Keep the legs straight, take the right knee to the chest, posteriorly tilt, connect the right knee to the right elbow, and come back. Keep the knee to the chest. One more time. And last time, take the right foot in between the hands, take the left knee on the floor, press into the right heel, inhale and come up. The arms move forward, down, back, up, and in circumduction the opposite way, I'm retracing the path. One more time, forward, down, back, and up, counter circumduction, back, down, forward, and up. Now let's move the hips with the arms. The buttocks move back and the arms go forward, down, back, and up. I'm loading the left foot and the left buttock is in line with the left heel. Press into the left foot to come up. Counter circumduction. Elbows into the side ribs. Allow the left hip flexors to open. And let's continue in a more fluid way to see how the extension reveals the flexion and vice versa. Inhalation brings me into an extension of the spine. The exhalation brings me into a flexion. The sternum comes in, and allow the hands to go on the floor. Now come into your 90-90 position with the legs, Parsvottanasana, and moving my right foot gently back so it's perpendicular to the knee. Walk the hands laterally. I'm changing perspective, so that your left hand is in line with the left knee. Press into the left hand, take the right arm up, inhale, and allow the right arm to move back into the rotation of the spine. Right arm under the left armpit, and continue. Allow the hips to move forward and the arm to move and extend back. One more time. Take the right hand on the floor. I'm coming back into my initial position. Take both hands onto the mat. Straighten up only the left leg. Lift the toes of the right foot so that you can ground the right heel. Press the right knee against the right arm to take the right buttock back. From here, press into the right heel, inhale, come up. Virabhadrasana 1. I'm stretching the left heel towards the floor. The left quadricep is strong, and I'm feeling my left hip flexors lengthening from here. Take the left knee down, and now circumduction of the arms, and keep the left foot in dorsiflexion, full forward. Inhale, circumduction of the arms, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, circumduction into a flexion. Continue. Make sure that the front leg knee stays as much as possible into a 90-degree angle when we enter the warrior one, so that I can stretch the left hip. One more time. The elbows are assisting spinal extension. And take the hands on the floor, find 290 degrees angle, straighten up the left leg, straighten up the right leg now. I'm moving my left heel on the floor into Parsvottanasana. Press the hands into the floor, raise the chest up, bend the elbows, exhale, come down. I'm focusing right now on movement, but also I'm focusing on keeping the left heel grounded. And I'm pressing the right buttock to the back wall. And then the hands are assisting the flexion of the chest. One more time, inhale. Take the pubic bone and the sternum away from each other. Exhale, fold forward, and just rest here for a couple of breaths. Palms on the floor if you can. You can have 2 blocks under the hands in case you need to assist the flexion. Lift the chest up, lift the back heel to the ceiling, bend and extend the right knee to downward facing dog. Sense how the right leg is now open. Sense how the side of the chest on the right side is free from any tension. Lift the heels up, left knee to the chest, posteriorly tilt, left knee to the elbow, and come back. One more time. This protraction of the scapula and posterior tilt is giving me the chance to then step the foot in between the hands. Right knee on the floor, plantar flex the right foot, press into the left heel to come up. And circumduction of the arms to coordinate the movement with the hips. One more time. We find the rhythm coming from the arms. And now the arms go forward and the buttocks go back. Press into the right heel, the right foot, and I'm coming up, sinking, and extension of the spine. Right buttock in line with the right heel. Load the right quadricep by taking the buttocks back. Extension of the spine, relax the neck. One more time. And let's take the hands on the floor into a flexion. Take both knees 90 degrees. Step the left heel back if you need. Move the right hand outside of the mat in line with the right knee. Press the right hand into the floor, left arm up. Press the right foot into the floor and feel the hips moving forward. And now allow the left arm to be heavy and look for the back wall. Exhalation brings you into a rotation. Inhalation lifts you up into de-rotation. The hips are moving back and forth to assist the two movements. that we're looking for in the spine. One more time. Open up. Take the left arm up to the ceiling, left arm over the head, left buttock down to the floor, left shoulder to the ear. Come back up with the arm, left hand on the floor, walk the hands to the center of the mat. Straighten up only the right leg, and now activate the heel of the front leg by lifting the toes up. I'm looking for a retraction of the left femur, so I'm pressing the left knee against the left arm, and I'm feeling how the hip is moving back, and now the belly button is facing forward. Press into the left heel to come up into warrior one. Right knee on the floor, keep the right foot dorsiflexed. The arms are coming forward, down, back, and up. I'm flexing. And inhale, come up into an extension of the spine, warrior one. Let's continue with these two compositions. Straighten up the back leg, lift the right kneecap up, straighten up the right knee completely if you can. At least look for that engagement of the back leg to open up the hip flexors. One more time, flex, and extend, draw the left femur back, straighten up the right quadricep, the right knee by the quadricep, and take the hands on the floor. Come back to your 90-90 position, straighten up the right leg, straighten up the left leg. Back of the head is going down, right foot, 30 degrees angle. Press the hands into the floor, take the chest up. Connect the right heel into the floor. Allow the right quadricep to be strong. Press the left hip back and allow the belly button to face the floor. Engage the erector spine muscle to extend the chest, bend the elbows and flex. The erector spine muscle are assisting a degree of chest extension that then is converted into a flexion in length. Continue. Inhalation lifts you up. Exhalation brings you down. One more time. I'm finding flexion. Keep the chest up. Lift the right heel off the floor. Hands on the ground, bend and extend the left knee to a downward facing dog. Keep pressing the hands into the floor. Straighten up the elbows to lengthen the side ribs. The back of the head is going down to the floor. Lift the heels up, unroll the spine, find your chaturanga, knees on the ground, balasana. Inhale into the lumbar spine. Exhale, posteriorly tilt, come up. Anteriorly tilt, inhale. Exhale, brings me down. Inhale, stay on the spot. Exhale, come up. Inhalation opens the belly to the ground. Exhalation brings me down. Let's evolve the movement into an upward facing dog. Inhale. Exhalation brings you up. Exhale, sink the hips to the floor. Now inhale, upward facing dog. Exhalation brings me back. Inhale. Exhale, up. Scapula towards each other and down to the buttocks to keep the sternum moving upward. The shoulders are moving down to the elbows to lengthen the sides of the neck. The buttocks are relaxed and the quadriceps are active to assist the anterior pelvic tilt. And let's stay into Balasana. I'm keeping my elbows off the ground to maintain activity in the body. Press the feet into the floor, come up into a posterior pelvic tilt. Now walk the hands below the shoulders. Take the shoulders over the wrists and come back. Come forward and back. Sense what's happening into your pelvic floor whenever you go forward with the shoulders over the wrists. There is a slight engagement. I'm staying with the shoulders over the wrist and I can sense my pelvic floor activating. Notice how my hips are in a posterior tilt. Press the feet into the floor, lift the knees up. And now sense the feet wanting to connect to the hands and vice versa. Knees on the ground, keep the posterior tilt, come back. Hands are light into the air. Press the feet into the floor, come up. Elbows into the side ribs. Exhale, close forward. And let's continue again, finding extension and flexion. It's the theme of today's class, balancing these two aspects. Inhalation brings me into an extension and I'm coming up. Exhalation brings me down into a flexion. One last time. And take the hands on the floor and relax here. Walk the hands back. And now the body is ready for the next exploration, which is going to become static but more technical. For today's exploration, we are going to need one yoga belt and a couple of blocks, and take the mat against the wall. We're going to be using the wall to understand how to activate the back leg into Parsvottanasana, which is going to open the back of the body, and we're going to be using the wall to understand how to open the front of the body into Virabhadrasana 1. Let's begin into our Parsvottanasana stance. I'm taking my right leg front and my left leg back. My feet are hip-width distance, and now usually the problem when I'm here is that the back heel is coming up off the ground, and when I'm lifting the heel I'm overloading the front leg. In all standing asana, the body weight should be into the back leg. So from here I'm taking my hands against the wall and I'm pressing the hands to draw the body weight back. I'm loading the left heel, I'm drawing the left kneecap up. Now I'm drawing the right femur to the back wall to unload the weight into the right Achilles tendon. When I'm drawing my right femur back, my foot, so my femur is actually externally rotating, so I have to press the inner right foot on the ground. And now I'm finding my composition of the legs of Parsvottanasana. Relax, take the hands down, try to maintain the composition in the legs. And come back up. Step the right leg back, take the hands on the floor, feet hip width distance. And now move the hands on the wall. The first thing I'm gonna feel is straightening up the elbows so that I can lengthen the side ribs, and I'm pushing the buttocks away from the shoulders like in that downward dog that we saw before. The right heel is into the ground now. The right kneecap is lifting up and the back leg is active. I'm drawing the left hip back, and now I see I'm feeling my femur. Left femur is actually pushing out and the body weight is into the outside of the left foot. I don't want it there, so I'm pressing the inner left foot down, the medial arch, I'm pressing it into the ground. And now I have the composition of the legs. Draw both kneecaps up and take the hands on the floor. Try to maintain the compositions of the legs. Bend the front leg knee, step the right leg forward and come up. Now we're going to have a look at a second possibility for Parsvottanasana, which takes us 2 blocks. Now I'm going to start into a downward facing dog. I could have done the first exploration in the same way. I'm stepping the right foot in between the hands, or just wherever it goes. Don't worry too much about that. I'm walking my hands as far as possible, and I'm trying to reproduce what I just done with the wall, but with 2 blocks. I'm pressing the hands into the blocks to take the body weight back. I'm trying to shift the body weight into the left heel, the back leg heel. Draw the left kneecap up. Now, by pressing the hands forward, sense how the buttocks are moving away from the shoulders. It's like a downward facing dog now. Draw the right femur back. And now press the inner foot, the inner right foot, down to the ground. So the mount of the big toe is pressing into the floor. The back of the head is coming onto the ground, towards the ground. Inhale, come up, and step the right leg back. Lift the heels up, step the left foot forward, and take the right heel on the floor. Once again, I'm lifting the floor up. Before I had my hands on the wall, now I have the blocks, so that when the floor is raised, I can transfer the body weight into the back leg. So from here, I'm pressing the hands into the floor, and I'm moving the center of gravity back to the right heel. Right kneecap come up. Left buttocks push back, and the belly button is facing the floor. Back of the head is going down. Push the hands forward so that the side ribs are lengthening, so that the breath is free to explore the side body. And look forward, step the left leg back, hands on the floor with caution. Come back on your knees, and Balasana. Alright class, now we're going to have a look at Virabhadrasana 1. We're going to use a yoga belt to activate and straighten up the back leg. We're going to use a block to keep the front leg knee in line, and we'll be using the wall to keep the head in line with the sacrum. In Warrior 1, we have the tendency to go forward with the chest and overload the front leg. We're going to learn how to use the wall to transfer that body weight back. Let's make a loop with the belt. And let's take it around the left leg. So the loop is tight enough so that I can, there you go. Okay, it stays onto the left hip. I'm gonna take the belt and I'm gonna place it on top of my left shoulder. I'm going to take a yoga block. Now, this block is cork and it's not that heavy, but if you have a heavy block, make sure you put a blanket on top of your toes in case that you drop the block on the foot. That's not pleasant. So let's begin with the left knee bent. I'm keeping the block fixed onto the patella so that my knee is not moving neither medially nor externally nor forward. I'm teaching my knee to stay at a 90 degree angle. I'm placing my hands onto the wall, straighten up the elbows, and I keep the head in line with the sacrum. Now I'm straightening up the back leg, straighten up that back leg. You're gonna find that the block is assisting you also in transferring some of that body weight into the wall, so it's not as hard. Straighten up the left knee as much as possible and press the left heel towards the ground. Press the hands into the wall and take the head back in line with the sacrum. Now press the hands downward towards the floor and see how the back ribs want to move in and the sternum want to go up to the chin. Going to a posterior tilt and an anterior tilt. Sense these two movements. When I posteriorly tilt, I'm feeling an opening into the front, but when I'm anteriorly tilting, I'm feeling my spine coiling, and I'm looking for this extension and coil of the spine. Raise both arms up and take the shoulders up to the ears so that you're unloading the lumbar spine. Bend the elbows and hold on to the rope. Straighten up the arms and assist the back leg to straighten up. Sense the spine into an extension. Draw the right femur back and the belly button towards the right knee. Let go of the yoga belt. Bend the knee. Remove the block. Take the yoga belt out. And let's translate everything into a downward facing dog. The hands and the feet press into opposite directions and the buttocks are moving up to the ceiling. Come back onto your knees and we are going to do the opposite leg. This work can be challenging. Feel free to go back with the back knee on the floor whenever you need. Let's repeat by taking the yoga belt around the right leg. And let's rest the belt on top of the shoulder. We're going to step the left leg forward and find 2 90 degrees angle from here. I'm using the block once again on the patella. My knee is perpendicular to the ankle and I'm having this 2 90 degrees angle in the back leg and the front leg. I'm taking my hands onto the wall, straighten up the elbows, protract the scapula so that the head is in line with the sacrum. Tuck the toes under, straighten up the back leg. Right now, I'm working on straightening up the right kneecap. I want to take the kneecap up, the knee is extending, the heel is pushing down into the floor, and the hip flexors are opening. And now the body weight is coming back when I press the hands into the wall. I'm pressing the hands down gently in this downward direction, and this is an action, and I sense the sternum moving up to the chin. The back ribs come into the body. Draw the left femur back and the belly button towards the wall. Now anteriorly tilt, coil the spine, posteriorly tilt and sense the hip flexors. Anterior tilt, the spine is coiling, posterior tilt, the hip flexors lengthen. Keep the anterior tilt. I'm looking for an extension in the spine right now. Raise the arms up and the shoulders to the ears so that you are unloading the spine, the lumbar area. Bend the elbows, take the yoga belt, straighten up the arms and assist the back leg. Draw the left femur back, shoulders up to the ears. Anteriorly tilt, coil the spine. Let go of the belt, bend the right knee, let go of the block. Wow, very good. Now let's move into downward facing dog and translate into length of the spine. Come back onto your knees. Now we can use Parsvottanasana and Virabhadrasana 1 to find the flow, to balance the front and the back, to see if we have understood how to load the back leg and how to open the front leg. Now let's approach this flow by beginning into a downward facing dog. Start from a Marjariasana, tuck the toes under and find your inverted V position. Lift the heels up and step the right foot in between the hands. Now keep the back heel off the ground, take the hands on the hips, come up into Virabhadrasana. Straighten up the right leg, take the left heel on the ground. Take the chest up to the ceiling and slowly by pressing the left heel into the floor, come forward with the chest. Inhalation brings me up, lift the heel off the ground, bend the right knee, find 90 degrees angle, but keep pressing the left heel towards the floor. Come up, heel to the ground, press, draw the right femur back. Come as far as your body allows you to. Come back up, lift the heel, bend the right knee. Couple more times, left heel down, right femur back, feet pressing opposite directions. Now come up, raise the left heel, bend the right knee. Arms out, Roll the arms medially and connect the pubic bone and the sternum. Draw the feet towards each other. Press the feet away from each other. The spine is coiling. Arms come up. Inhale. Straighten up the right leg and come forward. Reach forward. Hands down. Parsvottanasana. Bend the right knee and downward facing dog. Lift both heels up, step the left foot forward, and bend the left knee. Take the hands onto the hips, press the left heel to come up. Straighten up the left leg, take the right heel down. Draw the left femur back, press the right heel into the floor, chest up, and slowly come down. This is teaching my feet to press in opposite directions. Inhale, come up. Lift the right heel, bend the left knee 90 degrees, keep the right knee active. Straighten up the front leg, right heel down, come forward as far as the body allows, come back up, lift the right heel, bend the left knee. So this is a very wide Parsvottanasana to accommodate this the Virabhadrasana one that comes afterwards. Continue one more time. Lift, bend, up, right heel on the floor. Load the back leg to come forward. Belly button towards the floor. Come up, lift the right heel, bend the left knee. Arms in line with the shoulders. Roll the humerus medially, the sternum is looking down to the floor, and then press the feet in opposite directions, anteriorly tilt, the hands go down, coil the spine, inhale, straighten up the left leg, and reach forward, shoulders to the ears, hands on the floor, Parsvottanasana, and step the left leg back, downward facing dog. Come back on the knees and feel free to rest in Balasana. So, whatever we've done until now has been helping our body to balance the front and the back, which is a condition necessary for whichever inversion we're looking for. When you look for Shirshasana, Pincha Mayurasana, or your handstand, it is important to start from a place of freedom in the hips. It is not just about the shoulders. So now we're going to conclude our class here, but I'm going to record another video on how to use these movements to enter our Pincha Mayurasana. Thank you for tuning in. Ariom Tat Sat.